All right, Kevin here, and let me see if I can get this video set up and get it kind of halfway organized for you. There we go. Hopefully that's a little bit better. So what we're doing here is I'm kind of doing a follow-up to the webinar presentation that you joined. And I've actually had a lot of questions come in. And in fact, gosh, I don't know if we'll have enough time to field them all. Or not, but I just kind of copied off all the questions that came in, and we'll spend some time right now going through those questions for you and stuff. And also what I want to do here is kind of do a make sure that you guys get to have some proof that the partnership playbook works. That would be helpful. I know we covered a little bit of it on the webinar, but not. I want to go into more detail on that here because a lot of you have been asking about that. I'll also just kind of go over offer review, do a quick offer review, and just kind of remind you of what you're getting when you do become a partner. If you decide this is right for you, and right now I'm assuming you're here because you're still kind of on the fence, wondering like, okay, should I really do this? And if that's where you're at, my goal is to push you off of that doggone fence and get you over here on this side with us, and so we can start doing some great things. And of course, we're going to go over the questions and just do a Q&A here with you and stuff. And so why don't we just kind of start with the proof, because as it lays out right now, I do have proof on the way. Once you go to partnershipplaybook.com/partner, that lays out, it's everything we discussed on the webinar training and stuff. It's got testimonials kind of sprinkled throughout this page for you. We've got comments from system users, our partnership playbook users, talking about both the partnership playbook as well as the results and the experiences they've had in partnering with me. I mean, Joe Polish, who, gosh, I've known Joe forever here. So as you kind of go through this, you'll see, Ryan Chapman, Fix Your Funnel as a client, and also the examples of the introductions that I gave you on the webinar. I know it was difficult to see, and you will see all of them here on this webpage, partnershipplaybook.com/partner. I've been sending you emails out and all that with that link so that you can access this, but you will see these all right here on this webpage. You will see all the examples I was showing you and a whole lot more. And in fact, I show you screenshots that are larger, as well as I give you email examples. And right below that, as this sits, there is a link there where you can just click see more connections, and it'll open up a secondary page for you where you're going to see a whole lot more. Okay, so you'll see plenty of examples there on that secondary page. And then as far as the extra, comments, testimonials, that kind of thing, what people are saying, I posted some examples right there on that page. But once again, when you click the link, it'll open up a second page with a whole lot more that you can see, a lot more comments from system users, as well as people I've made introductions for, all of that kind of stuff. And, like I mentioned on the training, the partnership playbook, if all it was the training, if all, on the webinar I told you, if all this was the training and offering the training, I wouldn't even bother. What I am excited most about is making connections for you. Yes, I want to empower you to be able to, communicate or connect, communicate, and collaborate in a far more powerful way than you've ever done before, and be able to empower you to expand your business in a huge way. But on the backside of that, I also want to make introductions for you. And I'm going to show you how to use this process, the partnership playbook, to get a whole lot more clients, and then turn those clients into raving fans, and not just raving fans, but salespeople, active salespeople for your business as you're in the process of building partnerships around your business. I mean, this is like, training you, but also on the backside of that, being a connector for you. through the partnership, through our own group, as well as just me making introductions and connections for you. And as you know, I am just like, this is my thing. This is what I love doing. So let me kind of go back to the questions here. Somebody said, I don't have time to do this. How much time do I realistically need? Well, I'm going to tell you what. If you're not where you want to be financially in your business, if you're not where you want to be, then I'm just going to be completely blunt with you. What are you spending your time doing? And maybe, because I've been guilty of this too, maybe we're spending our time on the wrong things, not the most productive and highest use of our time. And whether you like networking or not, and I know, there's a question there. I hate networking. Can I do this? And my gosh, I hate the typical networking too. So I'm with you. And somebody else, I thought somebody put in that they were shy. Yeah, what if I'm shy? And so there's not only the I don't like the typical networking BS. It's like, okay, well, what if I'm shy too? Well, if you're shy, let me just ask you this: is that serving you? Is that getting you where you really want to go in life and in business? Is it satisfying for you being that way? And so I'm not saying that I am saying a little bit to get out of your comfort zone, but I used to be shy too. I could tell you, I don't want to get into long stories about me, but I used to be shy. And what I figured out is that is not serving me. And I'm still an introvert. I am not the life of the party kind of guy or anything like that, but I do know the value of relationships. And so, I want you to understand this as well. And so I totally get it if you don't like networking, if you've had a bad experience with networking, I totally understand why that is, because most people do have a bad experience with networking. And that's because most typical networking pretty much sucks. Because everybody's there talking about themselves, nobody's listening to anybody, and so it's not a productive use of anybody's time. Nothing gets done, nothing comes from it. And so if you've had that kind of experience, it's okay. There's a different kind of experience that I'm about to introduce you to. Now, as far as the time, it doesn't take that much time to get started. If you were to invest a couple hours a week in this to start, that would be fantastic. But what you're going to find is that once you start using this process, you are going to have such an amazing experience with it that you're just going to want to do this. It's not going to be about how much time do I have to spend doing this. It's going to be how much time do I get to spend doing this, because you're just going to enjoy it so much. Okay. Somebody was telling me, I don't know where to start. It's okay. I totally get that. Where you're going to start is at the very first module, and I'm going to walk you through a process, and I'm going to walk you through a exercise that when you do it, you are going to have such an amazing experience, and you're going to see results so doggone fast. I promise results in 24 hours. And in fact, that was one of the questions right here. Results in 24 hours. That sounds unrealistic. I totally get it. I totally get it. But you know what? There is no way I would make a bold claim like that if I didn't know for a fact I could deliver on it. And I could deliver on that in spades, okay? And realistically, 24 hours, it doesn't even take 24 hours. I'm going to walk you through on the very first session. I'm going to walk you through a process. And when you do this exercise, you will see results in 24 hours or less. And in many instances, it's not even going to take an hour for you to start seeing tangible results. Now, do I mean money in the bank? No, I don't mean money in the bank. What I mean is you're going to have an experience that you're going to be like, holy cow, Kev, you were right. That worked. That was so incredible. And I want a whole lot more of that going on in my life. It's going to be an experience that proves to you that this doggone process works, and it works like crazy. Okay. Somebody wrote in, how fast, let me make sure I covered everything. Oh, will this work in the UK or whatever area of the world that you are in? Yes, it does not matter what area of the world you're in. I have been doing this for years. I work with people in the US and people in Canada, and whether I work as as a mentor or as we have clients and partners. I mean, that is the cool thing, that this day we are in a global economy. Okay, so you can do this no matter where you are, thanks to technology, thanks to, like, my gosh, I'm recording this on Zoom right now, which is an online platform that it costs nothing. I do a paid version so I can have a lot more people on here if I wanted to have it. But I mean, I use it for recording these videos. I also use this for communicating with people around the world. We just hop on Zoom. and I love this software. And so, you know, I mean, I've got people that I work with in Canada, in England, in the UK, in Mexico, in South America. I've got Brazil. I mean, it doesn't matter where you are. We are in a global economy. This will work for you wherever in the world that you are. How fast can I make money? You know what? That's up to you. I'm not going to say you're going to be making money tomorrow. I'm not going to say you won't be making money tomorrow. You could be making money tomorrow. That's all up to you. But what I can tell you is that you're going to have, like I said, you're going to have an experience in the first 24 hours, in even less than 24 hours, that, like I said, it's going to let you know that this stuff works, and you're going to be able to see that you're going to produce revenue from this, okay? And you're going to produce a lot of revenue. Somebody wrote in, I don't have a lot of business friends. Can I still do this? If you got business friends, you're going to get a lot more business friends. If you didn't have any business friends right now, I mean, I can't imagine that as being an entrepreneur, a professional, that you don't have any business friends. But even if you didn't, right now, that's okay, because the reason that you don't is just because you haven't been connecting at all. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you haven't been doing that, if you haven't been, you know, connecting, communicating, and collaborating in the way like I'm talking about, like we talked about on the webinar, you're really not only missing out on revenue and income that you can have and all these great clients you could be having, you could get a steady flow of new clients, all of that kind of stuff. You're just missing out on so much satisfaction that you could be having just from, I mean, just being surrounded by incredible people and having incredible people around you that want to support you, that are excited to help you. And you know what? I mean, my gosh, in my mind, I mean, that is like such a huge, huge part of this. And yes, the revenue is great, but I'm going to tell you what, when you are surrounded by people that, you know, I mean, that I've got friends in my life that I've had for years now that we've made. Yeah, we made a lot of money together. We made a big impact in this world. And of course, this movement of the Partnership Playbook is getting bigger. We're on a global scale now, and we're expanding, getting even bigger. But to be surrounded by so many incredible people, that is just so rewarding. Are there any other costs or expenses I need to be ready for? You know, I mean, other than investing in the Partnership Playbook and whatever you're already doing, not really. I mean, there's not really any other expenses that are going to be required of you. It's just doing things in a different way than you've been doing. This isn't about having to invest a lot more money outside of this training. Do I need an additional website for this? No, if you have a website for your business already, we're going to be able to add some tools to your existing website. If you don't yet have a website for some reason for your business or practice, we might want to put one in place. But we definitely want to, you know, use some tools. Now, do you have to have a website in order to use the tools? No, you don't. It just makes it a little bit easier. Okay. Somebody wrote in, are business cards obsolete? Well, I'm going to tell you what, I don't know that they're obsolete or not. I know a lot of people use them. I personally, I haven't used a business card in, I mean, over 10 years. Because, I mean, and here's why on the business card thing. I don't, because ultimately, you know, if I'm going to collect a business card or give out a business card, you know, especially if you're at an event, and I know some people that they just like to collect lots of business cards and nothing ever comes from it. Where me, I just want to do cool stuff with awesome people. That's all I want to do. And so if I'm at an event, you know, I've got, I don't have it with me. Oh, that's interesting. I don't have my phone with me, but I've got my phone with me usually. And if I'm talking with somebody, and rather than it saying, you know, hey, let's exchange business cards and we'll make time to follow up, which will kind of just leave things hanging in limbo, I'm like, no, let's do something now if we're wanting to talk. And so what I'll do is right there on the spot, I'm going to give them a link to my account. Now, I might pull out my phone. I'll exchange phone numbers with them right there, get their cell phone and what have you. But I'm going to right there with them on the spot, Let me see if I can make this happen here. I'm going to give them the link to my calendar. Now I use TimeTrade for this, and but I just got a domain called ktcalendar.com that I forwarded to my TimeTrade, and so I don't have to worry about, because look at this link up here for TimeTrade. Could you imagine if I had to give that away? Let's not worry about trying to do that. I just bought a domain, ktcalendar.com, KT for Kevin Thompson. So I just say, hey, let's go to my calendar, go to ktcalendar.com. Let's look at calendars right now, and we'll book an appointment to talk. And so they'll go in here, and it'll show them my calendar, and then, that's all they got to do. They just book a time to talk. And, that makes it nice and easy. And that's what we want, is we want results, right? And so for me, I'm not worried about exchanging business cards. I'm just like, let's set up a time to talk. And when we do that on my calendar, I use Google, so it ties right into my Google Calendar, and it just puts it on the spot. And whatever's already there, it knows, and it all syncs up, and it just works. And so, I'm just a simple guy. I like making it simple, making things easy. Somebody asked, I can't imagine a millionaire giving me the time of day. And, and you know what, this is all relative, because when I was not a millionaire, I thought the same thing. And of course, you might think, well, I can't imagine a billionaire giving me the time of day. And here's the thing, as you use this process, and you just start moving forward with it, and you just start having conversations in the way that I show you how to do, what is naturally going to happen is you are just going to work yourself up this ladder. I mean, not that long ago, I was able to connect Tom Matson with Richard Branson. And in fact, that was one of the testimonials, or one of the comments was, in fact, there it is right there. He's talking about, you go to partnershipplaybook.com/partner. You'll see this on that page, Tom Matson talking about how I connected him with Richard Branson. And there was a time in my life where if you would have told me I'd be connecting somebody with Richard Branson, I never could have imagined that. Because I would have, and it's not that I know Richard Branson personally. I don't need to. Now, do I know a lot of millionaires now? Yes, absolutely. I've got them on speed dial on my phone, all of that kind of stuff. And the thing is it doesn't matter who somebody is, how big their business is, how wealthy they are. What they want to do is they want to connect with somebody that they feel gets them. That's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. And see, when you communicate with people in a way that I'm going to show you, and we're all about finding, we're always looking for one of two things, either their big opportunity or the big challenge that we can help them solve. And when people know that we are helpful, and in fact, you know what, I'm going to see, let me go to Facebook. I just want to see something really quick and see if I can show this. Oh gosh, I got a guy reaching out to me right now. And by the way, I use Facebook a lot for connecting with people too. I'm going to show you something here. So I'm in part of this mastermind group called Genius Network with the founder, Joe Polish, who've actually known Joe for 19 years. And Joe, man, that guy's a majorly connected guy. But I'm going to show you something here because this is kind of cool. This is an example of why people would give you the time of day. So let me see if I can expand this.
I really admire this guy because I can't say it all in an intro, but I've known Kevin since 1997 when he was a dead broke carpet cleaner, just like me, and he ended up buying my stuff. And he was an Alaska fisherman that had the craziest story in the world, was totally broke. And talk about a rags to riches story, and just all along the way, one of the most genuine people that you would ever know. He's been a client and a friend for many, many years. I'm just so super happy to have that relationship in my life with Kevin. He's an amazing guy, and I love him.
So there you go. There you go. You want to know if somebody would give you the time of day, and why a millionaire, or why a billionaire, or why anybody else for that matter would give you the time of day. It's because they feel that you get them. It's because they know that you care about them, that you have their best interests in mind. That's why they would give you the time of day. Okay? It doesn't have anything to do about how much money you make or don't make. That does not matter one doggone bit. Okay, will this help me get into a better social circle? Yes. Yes, it will. You know, like I said, I mean, this thing, you know what we're doing now. And in fact, I want to thank one of my friends, Alexander. I'm going to see if I can, bear with me here. I'm just going to bring this up for you real quick. And we're working on some updates for the website at the moment. And I'm going to see if there we go. We kind of got, you know, Alexander kind of like pointed this out to me a while back, and we kind of updated our website with this. And who knows, when you're looking at our website, it may not look like this at all by the time you get here. But like, what he gave me a line is that, because he was like, Kevin, he's like, let me make sure I understand what you are really doing here. He's like, if I get this right, or what you're doing is creating positive change on a global scale by facilitating connections between increasingly influential people. Is that what you're doing? And I'm like, that is good, Alexander. You hit the nail right on the head there, because yep, that's pretty much what we're doing around here. And so we updated the website with that. But see, I share that because you're right. You know, you will, as a result of using this process, as a result of, you know, I'm not trying to toot my own horn and talk about me and how great I am, because you know what? Nobody cares. You shouldn't. But I'm going to tell you right now, I've been doing this for a while, and I'm pretty doggone well connected. And the thing is that my connections are your connections. I mean, why wouldn't I want it to be that way? Because here's the deal. Every time I make an introduction for anybody, you know, there's two beneficiaries for that. There's you and whoever I'm introducing you to. And there's always two beneficiaries. And I'm just the guy in the middle who's like, everybody's like pretty doggone thankful that I'm hooking them up, you know? And so, you know, let me see here. I mean, I can show you some Facebook examples really quick, because I mean, heck, I do this all the time. Let me see if I can move this a little bit. I mean, I just made some connections. I mean, well, I do it every doggone day. Here's one. I mean, I made an introduction connection for Rob yesterday. And I sent an email and said, hey, Rob, just sent an email to introduce you to my friend Dre Redfern. He'd like to get more speaking engagements, and I thought you might be able to help him. And he's like, thanks for thinking of me. And I was like, you bet, Rob. Be sure to let me know what comes from your conversation. And he's like, will do. You know, and see, and now Rob is a rock star at what he does. And when I was talking with Dre, and by the way, I was actually talking with Dre. We don't just do email and Facebook stuff only. My whole goal is like, I want to talk with people. I want to, whether it's in person, on the phone, on Zoom, on, you know, whatever. I want to have communication with people. I want to have relationships with people, because that's how we do great things. And so, you know, you do this kind of stuff, and you're right, it does move you up in the ranks. And I mean, I've got relationship capital with some pretty doggone amazing and well-to-do people at this point. And it's only expanding. It's continuing to expand, because the more I teach this process, the more I empower people like you to use it, the more my own network expands, the more your network expands. It just, I mean, we are on, like I said, on a global scale right now, and this thing is growing exponentially. I can only imagine where it's going to be, you know, 2 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, a couple of years from now. I mean, because it's growing. It's like we've started it going in a big way, and now it's just like, and it's, yes. So you will expand into a bigger social circle. Next question. $1,000 is a lot of money. Should I still buy? And they use the word buy, and like, I don't look at this as buying. I look at this as investing. And I mean, you know, I kind of made a note here, trying to be polite, but I was like, you know, do you want $1,000 to always be a lot for you? Because we can change that. We can change it. And I understand where you're coming from. It's like, okay, you know, that seems like a lot of money right now. You start doing what I show you how to do. and start networking and doing, and connecting and communicating and collaborating, $1,000 ain't going to seem like a lot for you for very long. And, I mean, I'm just going to be completely blunt about that. Next question was, hasn't it taken you, well, they put but hasn't it taken you a long time to get as good as you are? How can I do it any faster? And yeah, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this stuff for a long time. And, but here's the thing. You get to be the beneficiary of what I've figured out, and you get to be the beneficiary right now. You get to learn everything that I've learned over all this time. I just kind of do this thing where I just, through the partnership playbook, share with you all of what worked, and so you get all of what worked right here, right now, delivered to you basically on a silver platter. And then that it's taken me all this time to build up all of these connections and all of these contacts that you get immediate access to. And not only my connections, not only me making introductions for you, but now through the partnership, through our little group here of like-minded people who are all coming together with the same purpose, back to our purpose here of what we're doing, creating positive change on a global scale by facilitating connections between increasingly influential people. And so coming back to that, and that's what we're all about. And can you imagine when everybody comes together under that's the purpose, that's what we're all about. And everybody comes with their own already existing work networks that now are expanding exponentially. And there is not a thing we can't accomplish. There's not a problem we can't solve. There's not an opportunity we can't take advantage of. There's not anything that we can't do through the partnership and through this amazing group of people that you are soon going to be a part of if you decide this is the right fit. Results in 24 hours. That sounds unrealistic. We already kind of covered that one. You will see tangible results in 24 hours. What types of people achieve the best results with your program? If you're the type of people who, if you're the kind of person who can take your mind off of yourself and your own goals for a little bit, long enough to be able to place the focus on somebody else and how you can help them. And I'm going to give you a specific structure for doing that. But if you can take your focus off of yourself and focus on how to help somebody else and how to help them either take advantage of their biggest opportunity or solve their biggest problem, if you can focus on that, and that's who you are. And the other side of this is that the type of person that does the best is this person who is, you are just this most generous and giving person. Now, you might not always be great at receiving, and I'm going to show you how to get a whole lot better at that, and accepting help from others and even proactively asking for help from others. But if you, at the core of who you are, is this generous and giving person who really loves helping others and loves the feeling that you get from doing that, you're going to do so incredible with this program. Background, experience, career. Can anybody do this, or is that just what people say to get unqualified people to buy their crap? I love it when people are just completely blunt like this. This is awesome. And I'm going to tell you right now, I do not want unqualified people buying my crap, okay? But I get where you're coming from. I totally get where you're coming from. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is not so much about your background, your experience, your career, although I'm assuming that you have some of that. But what this is about is who you are. What type of people you are, what type of person you are, are you that giving and generous person who wants to help other people, who wants to make a difference in this world and get compensated for doing that? And, as far as can anybody do this? Anybody can do this. Will anybody do this? That's the question. And no, not everybody will do this. Not everybody's going to jump on board and become a partner and invest in the partnership playbook. They're just not. But what my goal is that the right people will. The right people are going to get on board. The right people, and that's my whole goal of this video, was to get you off of that fence. If you are a right fit for this, get the heck off of that fence and come on over and join us. Let's start doing some great things together, because we'd love to have you be a part of this. In addition to growing my business, how does connecting people turn into money? Who pays me? Okay, so yes, the partnership playbook, you're definitely going to grow your own business exponentially. But on the backside of this, yeah, these connections that we make, we get paid really, really well for stuff like this. So I gave you the example of Rob and Dre. Okay, so I'm just going to be, let me go back to that example that I shared with you, and I'll show, because I showed it to you earlier. You know what? I already showed you that example, so I'll just cut that really quickly. So I introduced those two guys. Now, I introduced them because I love Rob and I love Dre. I did not introduce those two guys because I would get paid for doing that, okay? I introduced them, like I said, because I love both of them and I want the best for both of them. But will I get compensated? Yes. If Dre becomes a client of Rob's, I could get compensated for that. And also, I could get compensated from Dre. Now, I have arrangements like this in place, and me personally, right or wrong, I don't use contracts. I don't use contracts. When I make introductions, I just do it, and I ask, and I just like say, hey, like in this case, Rob, hey, would it be worthwhile if Dre became a client? What I like to do is just get a little percentage of revenue increase on both sides of this. Would it be worth, say 10% of whatever Dre invests with you if he becomes a client? And see, I just have that conversation with people, but I don't do it in a way of okay, here, I'm going to introduce you, and by the way, you guys, here's a contract you need to sign, because if you do something together, I want a percentage. It's not like that, because that always felt just weird to me, not natural. But when I do something for people, and after I've done it, then I just say, hey, would this be okay with you? People are like, yeah, because it's going to cost them a whole lot more than what I'm asking for to get that client in the first place. So they don't mind. And so this is how we get compensated. I'm going to let you know right now, these introductions, you start doing this too for other people. Not only is it going to make you feel good, but you are going to get, this is a whole, there's so many revenue streams here, because you can do this with your own clients. You can be a connector for them. There's so many applications there. And then the thing is you start becoming a connector for your clients. So let's say, oh gosh, I don't want to muddy the water, but I don't want to go too deep. But let's say you start becoming a connector for your clients. And now these other people or entities or businesses that you are being a connector for your clients, now they end up becoming a connector for you and want to send more business your way. It just keeps on perpetuating. And so the way that we create money and the way we get paid for this is just by setting things in place. And so let me see here, Amy and Sarah. Here's an example. This is kind of cool. I introduced these guys a while back, and then I just kind of followed up and just said, hey, they started connecting. And then I was wanting to follow up. Hey, did you two gals have a conversation yet? Just wanted to see how it went. And by the way, both of these gals are moms, okay? Sarah is a mom who has 7 children, and Amy is a mom who has a son that's about 8 or 9 years old that's been diagnosed with cancer and is on chemotherapy. So needless to say, these two moms are really busy, but they also run very successful businesses. Hugely successful, and they're in different parts of the world. One is in the U.S. One is, I do not remember where Sarah is actually from, but she ain't in the U.S. She's somewhere else in the world. So I would just follow up. Did you get a chance to have a conversation yet? Just wanted to see how it went. Sarah came back and said, hi, Kevin. The two of us seem to be online at different times. So we haven't had a chance to chat yet. Still working on it. I just typed back in. Completely understandable, as both of you are busy moms. If one of you has a calendar, you can share it with the other. That might help move things along. Sarah came back. That's a great idea. Amy, I can set up I can set up a calendar with my available times, and you can pick a time slot. I used to do that for my customers, so it won't be a big deal to put it back online. Would that work for you? Amy typed in yes. Amy, busy moms in 2 different countries. Yes, that's a great idea. Here you go, Amy. Give her the link to the calendar, and now they're connecting. Now, in this instance, I will get compensated when these 2 gals do a project together. I'm going to get a percentage of that from each end of that. And so, this is how we get paid. And like, there's so many different ways to get paid. But what I do want to caution you about, don't do this because of the money you can make. Do it because you love the people, you love making an impact in this world, you love making a global impact, and the revenue just follows. The revenue just follows. Do you accept PayPal? Yes, we are working on PayPal, and for the single pay option, we're working on getting even to set up with PayPal credit that is, don't even got to pay for 6 months, all of that kind of stuff. And if we got that, once we get it all in place, I'm going to be putting together another video show you exactly how to use that. But you can use PayPal, and you can even use PayPal credit, 6 months, same as cash kind of a thing. I'm trying to pay with a debit card. It's declining my card. Can you help? Yes. We've got a customer service phone number you can call. That number is 360-203-3070 here in the U.S. You can also get a hold of my team, Kevin at partnershipplaybook.com, and they will help you as well. Okay, and they'll be more than happy to help you. I have a few questions. Is there someone I can speak to before ordering? Well, you know what? I think I'm looking at all these questions that came in, and we had a lot more than this. But these were like it was the same questions getting asked over and over. I think we pretty much covered all the questions here. But if you did still have questions, you can call that number 360-203-3070 here in the U.S. If you if you're outside of the U.S., you can just Kevin at partnershipplaybook.com, and myself, somebody on my team, will get back in touch with you. Probably won't be me, as somebody on my team going to be handle that. And then the last question is, can I talk with someone who's successful with your system? Well, I'll tell you what. On the webpage, on the Partnership Playbook webpage, we've got plenty of comments from people who are either successful with the system, who have been on the receiving end of introductions that I've made for them, all of that kind of stuff. We've got plenty of comments, lots of comments, and we're continually adding more and all of that. And so you get to hear from plenty of people who I've helped, and we've helped through this. Now, beyond that, I do not give out contact information of my clients. They're busy running their businesses. They're doing things there, and they don't need to be talking with people, fielding questions about, should you invest in the Partnership Playbook? I mean, I think at this point, after everything that we've shared, after everything that we've done, I mean, if this is a right fit for you at this point, you probably know that. And so you can just get off the fence and come on over and join us. I mean, the offer is not going to be available for that much longer. So I would suggest doing it. I mean, it's not that you couldn't get it later. You could. You're just not going to get the discount. You're not going to get all the bonuses that we're making available, all of that kind of stuff, because that's kind of what we do just to motivate you to get off the fence. And that's what I'm trying to do here, is push you off the fence. I'm trying to push you off the fence, and I'm not trying to high pressure the wrong people in this, because that's the last thing I want to do. But if you feel this is a right fit, I mean, my gosh, I need to do what's within my power to get you off the fence and get you over to join us and stuff. And that's what I'm trying to do. And so, and once you're in, you are going to be having regular conversations with people who are using the Partnership Playbook. Because you're going to become a part of the partnership. We're going to be welcoming you into that group. You're going to be connecting with like-minded people on a regular basis. We're going to be doing some incredible things together, and you're going to be connecting with lots of people. And you're going to become a connector, and you're going to get compensated very, very well for this. And so with that, you know what? Let me, well, you're not going to be able to copy the link, but it's partnershipplaybook.com/partner. So let me just kind of back this out. You can just type in, www.partnershipplaybook.com/partner. And there's probably, I would imagine there's going to be some kind of a link below this video on this page. You can probably just click or something like that to get on over there. And definitely get over there before the offer expires. And so you can take advantage of the bonuses and the discounted investment that we're making it available to you for. And with that, I had a great time sharing with you. If you feel this is the right fit, I'm so looking forward to welcoming you aboard, and let's do some great things together and make a huge impact in this world and start getting you compensated really well for what you do and the magic that you bring into this world through your business. And we'll see you on the other side of that doggone fence that you're sitting on right now.